Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Morrow, and I'm the CEO of American Eagle Gold. American Eagle Gold is a gold exploration company focused on finding a world-class asset in north central Nevada. Our real estate package completely borders Barrick's Nevada Gold Mines Cortez property. We have a world-class geologist. Since we last spoke, we've done a lot of work, and we're very excited because we're going to be starting drilling soon as we just received our permits. This is our forward-looking statement. So just as a bit of a refresher, what's American Eagle Gold? American Eagle Gold, again, it's a gold exploration company focused on the Cortez Trend. The Cortez Trend in the last 25 years has produced over 1 million ounces of gold a year. It's one of the richest jurisdictions in the entire world to be looking for gold. And where are we? We're just 5 kilometers south of Barrick's Gold Rush property that's coming online in 2021. When this property was staked 25 years ago, we're 25 kilometers away from the nearest mine. Barrick since then has found 3 more world-class deposits in Cortez Hills, 4 Mile, Gold Rush. Before you know it, they'll be on top of us. We can wait till they're right next door on top of us, or you can be proactive and drill. And our plan is to drill, to utilize our strong team in Mark Bradley, who's a world-class geologist that understands how to find underground Carlin-type deposits. In fact, he was the person that led that team. And we're always on the lookout for making smart, creative acquisitions that will give our shareholders value. So I touched on it a little bit earlier. So more about our Golden Gate property. So where are we? We're in north central Nevada, and we're on the southern tip of the Cortez property, owned by Barrick and Newmont's Cortez JV. As you can see, we're right south of Cortez Hills. We're also south of Gold Rush. We recently made the Garden Gate acquisition and more than tripled our land package. And why it's exciting, it allows us to essentially get 2 kicks to the can. Because we're on trend now with Cortez Hills, and we're also on trend with the Red Hill Anticline. So we're hoping we have the potential to find a deposit that looks similar to Cortez Hills or Gold Rush. And again, we have the right person to be looking for that mine. If you look at all these different mines in there, they're all owned by Nevada Gold Mines. It's Barrick and Newmont's JV. And what they have similar to us, besides the location, is they put in the proper front end work. Which not a lot of juniors do. That's what we've been doing. We did a seismic survey, CSAMT survey, and now we're ready to drill. We don't want to be a flash in the pan and just drill for no reason. We want to make sure our investment dollars have the highest probability of success. And that's why we've taken that extra time to do that proper front end work. Now for the important stuff, the update. So our fall drill campaign is on schedule. We filed a notice of intent on August 17th. We just received permits to start drilling. So what we're doing right now is we're looking for a drill contractor. And as soon as we find a drill contractor, we'll begin drill pad construction and start turning those drills. Our focus right now is get those drills into the ground as soon as possible, to be proactive and find that lower plate rocks and find the presence of the Carlin-type system. Now, in terms of talking about what sort of exploration we did previously, our focus on intercepting lower plate rock structures and alterations indicating the presence of a Carlin-type system. If and when we intersect the lower plate rocks, we'll be able to better understand the geology and structure and vector ourselves to a more precise area to drill to hit the ore body that we believe exists underground. One of the reasons why it's taken us 5 months to get this drilling, and people always ask, why don't you start drilling right away? Well, you can't start drilling. Actually, in fact, you can start drilling right away, but you're going to come up with dusters. Drilling is the most expensive investment you can make. Nevada is one of the most expensive places to drill. When you do that drilling, you want to increase your probability of success. So what we've been doing is what we call field exploration work, front end exploration work. It's the exploration work that the smart companies do. And what we're doing as an analogy is essentially taking a picture underground using different geophysic methods, such as CSAMT, such as seismic. Now, what the seismic allows you to do, allows you to know what the structure looks like underground the best you can. They've taken this method from oil and gas. And what we do with the CSAMT allows you to know what type of rocks are there. So if you know what type of rocks are there, or at least have a good idea, and know what the structure looks like, then you can really vector yourselves into having higher probability targets and places to drill. So we finished all of that work at the end of July. We used geophysicists and we interpreted, And then we figured out where we wanted to drill. In the middle of August, we filed our permits to start drilling. And again, we are starting to drill as soon as possible. All we have to do right now is finding that drill contractor, which we're well on the way to doing. So from the work that we did previously that I mentioned, we found 2 initial drill targets. You can see them right here in both those yellow circles. One's the Northern Cortez target. The other one's the Southern Cortez target. Both are adjacent to Cortez fault zone and on trend with Barrick's 10 million ounce Goliath Cortez Hills deposit. So right now I'm going to demonstrate how we came to our targets. I'll touch again on seismic CSAMT, but first I want to talk about the geochemical work and the gravity data that we use to find it. So right here, it highlights the main trace of the Cortez fault extending south from Cortez Hills. It also shows the possible northeast trending cross structures, which was supported by soil geochemistry and a gravity high. And you can see that from those dark red and dark orange colors. So again, I want to talk about the seismic surveys. The seismic survey is important to understanding the structure of the rocks, as I mentioned. To the untrained eye, the shape of the blue and red little swigglies there probably don't mean much, but to a geophysicist, what this demonstrates and what him and Mark saw were favorable folding and thrusting, which are typical for Carlin-type deposits. When I first talked to Mark, when he first got the interpretation, he was extremely excited. And what showed him and what shows us now is that we're right on track for finding this large deposit underground, which is created by hydrothermal circulation trapped underneath the upper plate rocks. With the seismic survey, we combine it with CSAMT, which tells what type of rocks are underground. The graphic here is a long section of the southern target, and the white circled area on the bottom right identifies a highly resistive rooted area, which are also characteristic of lower plate carbonate rocks. This could very well be where a large portion of gold is trapped in a highly condensed area, possibly representing an ore body. This is our target. This is where we think the next Cortez Hills mine or Gold Rush mine could be. Now, what I want you to do is just look at this and just allow me to compare it to the next slide, which is a hypothetical target that I'll display in another long section that actually compares it to the Cortez Hills mine next door. Now, this here is a long section of the Cortez Fault. And you can see there's 3 mines. You got Pipeline, you got Cortez Hills, you got Golden Gate. Each of these mines are about 10 kilometers apart, and they're like pearls on a string. Pipeline's all open pit. Cortez Hills is 10 kilometers south. It's dual. And then south of that's Golden Gate. It's our property. We believe that there's a deposit there. It's a little bit deeper underground, but we believe there's another world-class deposit. Now, what we're searching for here, and you can see our hypothetical target zone, is where hydrothermal liquids have been trapped underneath the upper plate rocks to form a condensed area of mineralization, which would represent an ore body. This is a world-class jurisdiction. I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of experts, and they believe we've just scratched the surface, no pun intended, in terms of how many gold deposits are going to be in this area. They pretty much found all the open pit oxide gold deposits, and most of the new ones, like an iceberg, are going to be underground. It's tougher to find, but we have the right people to find it. So that's what we're off to doing, and as you can see, we believe it exists. So this is Mark Bradley. I talk about Mark a lot because he is the superstar. If you look at Carlin-type deposits, they've only been known since the early 60s. They've only been mining them for the last 60 years, which is a small portion of the 3,000 plus years that gold's been mined. And if you look at any kind of underground Carlin-type deposit, which are only in the location where we are, they're all extensions of open pit. Now, an underground Carlin-type deposit, the first one that was discovered was only 10 years ago. So they're very, very small knowledge base in terms of how to find it and what to do. Mark Bradley wasn't just on the Gold Rush team that made the discovery. Mark Bradley worked for Barrick. He led the team that made that discovery. Mark is a world-renowned expert in Carlin-type deposits, specifically underground Carlin-type deposits. He led the team that made the Gold Rush discovery next door. He knows the type of work that has to be done, what needs to be done, and how to find that giant ore body. And he sees the same opportunity at Golden Gate that he saw over 10 years ago at the underexplored property, which is now the Gold Rush mine that Barrick owns. We're very happy to have him. We feel very confident with him at the helm of our exploration program. So if you look at our schedule, we've hit all of our schedules. We did our GS compilation, we did our MT survey, our seismic survey, and now we're in the permitting process. And we actually just received our permits the other day. And right now we're looking for a driller, and we plan to drill starting in the fall. We're probably looking at early mid-October to start drilling, but we're very excited by the prospects. And we delivered on everything that we promised to our investors that we would do. Now, to sum up what we're going to do, we're looking at drilling approximately 13,000 to 15,000 feet between 3 and 4 holes. That's around 5,000 meters. The method that we're using is called RC pre-collar diamond drill tail. So we drilled RC, which is less expensive, through the upper plate rocks and the sediment, and we use the diamond drill to drill into the lower plate rocks. We want to assay this, but we also want to properly understand what the geology of the ground and lower plate rocks look like, and that's why we use the diamond drill hole, so we can keep the integrity of the ground in place. So we have two main goals. Our first goal really is to hit the lower plate rocks. Lower plate rocks are the rocks that these Carlin type world-class deposits are in. And the second one is to identify areas of mineralization. Now, if we hit mineralization off our diamond drill program, that would be an absolute home run. We are very excited at the prospects of finding a deposit, and that's why we spent that extra time to do the seismic survey and the CSAMT work. That's why we put in the proper 5 months of extra work ahead of time. So our permits got approved and we're drilling. We're starting to drill in October. We're looking for that rig now. We believe there's light at the end of the tunnel, and our plan is to utilize our strong team, Mark Bradley, that knows how to find these world-class Carlin type underground deposits and find that mineralization, find that ore body. So thank you very much for watching this presentation. My name is Anthony Morrow. I'm the CEO of American Eagle Gold. Again, we're traded under the symbol AE on the TSX Venture. My email's there, my phone number is there. Don't be shy to contact me. I'm always happy to talk about our great company, our great team, and I look forward to speaking to prospective and current investors. So thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching this webinar.